And we are back again in my sickness robe. As promised, today we'll go through what I do and what I don't do to recover as fast and as efficiently as possible when I'm ill. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so take what I say with a pinch of salt, but I do get ill a lot. Well, I used to get ill a lot, especially between 2010 and 2017, a lot more than the average person for a reason I won't explain in this video. Anyway, through the years, I learned how to really listen to my body and to understand what it needs to have me back on my feet, feeling 100% and back to peak performance with training as well. Just a little disclaimer, some of these suggestions might sound quite obvious to you, but if you're really passionate about training or you consider yourself a very career-driven person or a high achiever or whatever other cringe name you want to use, then you know that sometimes in the heat of the moment it's quite hard to prioritize our health instead of work or training or whatever other priority. So when you have a cold or a flu, there's essentially three things that your body needs. Number one is sleep. It needs rest, right? You have to try your best to sleep as much as possible and possibly to sleep when you feel like sleeping. If you do feel tired in the middle of the day, try to take a nap. But of course, we all have work and stuff, but even just a 15-minute power nap really goes a long way. So if you can take a sick day, even if it's just one day, I would mostly just spend it sleeping. And even that one day, just doing that will make a huge difference. Obviously, training is completely out of the question, and I would also avoid the use of stimulants so that you can actually take advantage of feeling more sleepy to sleep more. Number two is warmth. Warmth actually speeds up the process of recovery, and this is partially why we get a temperature when we're ill. So keep your house, your environment as warm as possible, even if you're sweating loads and feel disgusting. In my experience, you will heal a lot quicker. Number three, hydration. Of course, you heard this one before. Drink plenty of water. But the thing with that is that often we feel like doing the opposite when we're ill. Especially if you have a sore throat, you will feel like drinking less. And this is probably the only point that I would go against in terms of what my body feels. Even if you don't want to drink as much as you can. Even if your throat hurts or your sinuses are inflamed. When it comes to food, if you actually do follow the guidelines that I just listed, you'll basically be running on not much more than your BMR if you think about it. Given that your heartbeat will be a bit faster, then you'll probably be burning a little bit more. But if you're bed bound, your TDEE will be far lower than usual. This means that you don't really need to force feed yourself. As we said yesterday, most animals don't eat or eat very little when they're sick because the body is busy healing. So really trying to push food down, in my opinion, is going to be counterproductive and really slow down recovery. Also because you're not going to be moving much and so digestion will be slightly compromised too. If you're worried about losing weight, remember that if you're sleeping all day and still eating in maintenance, you won't lose. Maybe you'll lose a little bit of water weight, if that. And if you actually prioritize everything we said, you'll be back to 100% and training a lot quicker. Now, medicines. Again, I'm not a doctor, but this is my take on it. I try to take it as little as possible and take it strategically to improve my ability to rest, not to be more active. For example, I would typically take a Lemsip half an hour or so before going to bed so that I can sleep better during the night. I try not to take it just to feel better during the day, otherwise I'll induce myself to be more active and do more, go out, etc. and really slow down the process. Final thing, wait until you're 100% or close to 100% before going back to the gym. Of course, you could force yourself to go to the gym while you're ill, but first of all, no one's gonna give you a medal for it. Second of all, honestly, what good is a session where you can't do shit because you're just feeling horrible? So once you're fully recovered and you're back in the gym, start slow. There is no rush. The slower you get back into it and the quicker you're going to be back at peak performance. Spend extra time doing your warm-up sets and avoid training to absolute failure. You can challenge yourself with the load, so how much you're lifting, but keep the volume low and the intensity slowly rising session after session until you're back to your strongest and best performing self. This is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time watching one of my videos, I'm posting one vlog a day for a year straight, and I normally look a little bit happier than this. So if you found this useful and you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully feeling a little bit better.